I want to talk about the reality of rogue decks for the game right now. Now make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So rogue is always a very subjective term. People like to look at these as their number one fate to, be able to play the game. Or they think that, they should be entitled to do well with Rogue. Rogue needs to be a necessary existence in the game. That's fine. But as time has gone on, Rogue decks have become a harder topic to get your mind around. And it's a lot of these different styles of strategies that are a lot harder to kind of adapt. Now, right now, we do have the Legendary Arc V decks coming out. This is Konami's next supplemental product that goes, hey, give us $30, and we're going to give you a Lunalight deck, we're going to give you an Odd Eyes deck, and we are going to give you a Speedroid deck. Now, they are hitting a lot of the niche milestones here. You're getting something for Speedroids, which is absolutely the casual player's dream. Casual player's going to look at Speedroids, and they're going to go, yes, I can finally play this deck. And that's a great opportunity. It's going to be a lot of people that are going to be jumping in on that. The Odd Eyes enjoyers, they are going to look at ways to abuse the second Pendulum Summon. Surely there has to be some mechanically inclined way to be able to use this second Pendulum Summon to the best of your abilities, just to make sure that you'll be able to tactically advance your game plan to make use of it. Sure, I'm sure there is some way to make use of that second Pendulum Summon. But there's also the topic of conversation that the best of the three decks is unfortunately Lunalights. When you have a deck that is basically unaffected, a supremely huge Towers monster, the reality of the situation is it's just absolutely the better choice right now. And I don't like the fact that this product, I guess to be fair, the modern decks was more designed to bring you up to speed with more modern decks. The Legendary 5Ds decks were casual, but they had a tie-in or a plug-in to existing product. That being the Black Rose deck. You got all the new Black Rose cards, but at the same time you could go buy this product, and you were basically handed an opportunity to be able to get all of Akiza's previous cards. You got the new Stardust stuff. You were marketed for that. These decks, their marketing strategy is we're printing a new card to up the consistency of each of these strategies, but that is it. There's no real Speedroid, there's no additional support. We talked a lot about this, but I wanted to reiterate this in an overall segment defining Rogue right now. So, as a barrier of entry for new and upcoming players, obviously the modern decks is the best entry point. If you like 5Ds, go with the 5Ds decks. If you want to still be Rogue, Lunalights is probably the better choice, but Mitsurugi and Sky Striker are by far the infinitely better decks, which is just, and some of these decks are still available at Walmart right now. Obviously, your LGS is probably sold out of them, but there is an opportunity to still find them on Walmart, Targets, Meijer shelves. You just kind of got to dig for them. Now, what about the rest of the encompassing Rogue category here? I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Ritual of Light and Dark, you could navigate to a pile deck right now and go, yes, I am the Rogue Master now. Which, I guess is a way to look at Rogue. Because, if you're breaking up your engine decks and you're just tossing in all of these different packages into the deck, and I guess that you could do something. There's also the topic of, where Invoked kind of stands in the meta. Do we view Invoked as a Rogue strategy? And honestly, at this stage, Invoked might be pushing great Rogue tier status. Super Poly breaking apart boards is still as bonkers crazy as you expect. You get access to all of these broken card effects. You even have extra deck ripping. You're probably tipping more into the top 10 of the meta at the moment, but the reality of the situation is more people want to see the consistency of what's going on with this, and that's good. There's also Sacred Beast Blitzclick. I don't know who you are, and I don't know what remote duel regional you crawled out of, you engine combining madman, but that's crazy to think about. I just that caught me off guard. Honestly, shout out to Genesis format, because you got Sacred Beast Blitzclick coming around. We got Argo Star Armored coming in to the equation. Like, if you don't like modern era Yu-Gi-Oh, go look at Genesis. I mean, like, this is a good place to have this discussion, like, honestly. Rogue in modern era, I mean, like, is a little bit more challenging. But you can go over to Genesis format and you can go innovate, Blitzclick Sacred Beast. Who's coming up with that? Argo Star in combination with the other trap monsters to control your opponent into a slower game pace. Yeah, who would have thought that would be a level of viable innovation that could be cooked up right now? Well, Yu-Gi-Oh players figured that out. They realized that, control aspects in this game is a critically important aspect of the game. And honestly, you're seeing it really shine through at this stage. And obviously, these regionals they're being a lot more larger for running the Genesis events on top of them. And honestly, there's still, I don't want to say modern era Yu-Gi-Oh's deck, because it's not. But there is a discrepancy in power level between the two in terms of innovation. If you're a player that wants to play some hot garbage, then go play it in Genesis format. You'll get more recognition over there. You will get more acceptability. You will get people that are looking at your homebrew and they're going, that's really, really cool. But if it comes to the I guess actually you might get more recognition in the TCG right now with your hot pile of water than in... Actually, a correction. You will get more recognized trying to break the meta in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess that's always going to be the case, right? Especially when you're exploring these formats. The goal of innovators is to break the format and have success with the decks that they think are good. But also at the same time, you have the overarching question of budget and, can I even afford, can I afford 3 Pot of Sloth right now to even be able to look at it as a good side deck option? You could have bought the Legendary Modern decks and said, all right, well, I've got Sky Striker, but the next problem becomes, do I have enough money to get Pot of Sloth? Obviously, Pot of Sloth is a great card. It helps your consistency, but you still have the oldies like Pot of Desires to kind of help you out and, carve your way into those other sorts of interactions. They are substitutes. And obviously, substitutes are not the best possible card that you can have, but unfortunately, for budget Yu-Gi-Oh! And for Rogue Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole, sometimes you just have to kind of make these substitutes where you can. Right now, the decks to beat are Rollad and Cool Tune. You have a defined meta in front of you. You have a path on what you have to work with and what decks that you have to do. If your deck can't really play into Cool Tune, you're going to have a bad time in this format. If you think that Rollad is a fair and balanced deck, you're probably having a great time in this format with your pile decks, alright? Because right now, pile decks are unexplored territory that are going to continue to be innovated. You're going to be having a lot more people trying to calculate the best possible strategies to break open the game. And that's always what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be. It's going to be a game of crazy. They figured out the secret sauce and we're going to town. But from what I see right now, Rogue has a harder time than ever. There's a lot of expensive staples, but there's also a reason to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Those winners packs are very, very cool. There is a reason to want to pick up the helm and actually play this game again. And that's good. That's good. Konami's made some good strides to actually make this game more exciting. And honestly, I'm all for that. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And you guys have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there, all right? Peace.
Patrons!
Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.